contributions of women in science and explore the opportunities and challenges they face in the field of STEM. So today we have a diverse group of women in STEM joining the conversation. So we shall discuss on their journey, impact, and influence in STEM. From engineering to data and marketing, I'm all set to share their stories and get motivated, and I hope you feel the same. So now, without any delay, I'd like to get started with the panel introduction. So first we have Miss Priyanka Sharma. So she is a DevOps engineer currently exploring MLOps and DevSecOps. So Priyanka holds a bachelor degree in computer science and technology from Lovely Professional University. So with a passion for exploring the benefits of machine learning operations and security operations, Priyanka brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to our panel today. Welcome to the panel, Priyanka.
Thank you, Aishwarya.
Okay, so next we have Anushya Sijapati. So she is a master's student at Wright State University. She is currently pursuing her master's in computer science. So Anushya carries a diverse expertise, having worked as a technical consultant and project manager at Raindrop Inc. Corporation, specializing in Oracle NetSuite ERP software. So outside of her academics, she loves Thai food, seeking thrills, and experimenting DIY projects. So, welcome to the panel, Anushya.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for hosting this amazing journey and bringing women from all parts of the world together. It's an honor to be a part of this event.
Thank you so much for your words. So, next we have a very smart and assertive lady on the panel today, Mrs. Sweta Silval. So, Sweta is a professional with almost 8+ years of experience in the field of data and marketing. So, previously, she worked as a deputy manager for Nishan and Datsun in Nepal, and now she's working under the field of data marketing and communication for Autoleague. Welcome to the panel.
Hi. Hi, thank you, Aishwarya. I'm so glad to be a part of this panel and discuss our journeys together.
Thank you so much, Sweta. Now let's welcome Yaman Thapa. So Yaman graduated with bachelor's in chemistry in 2022 from Calvin University. So currently she's a PhD candidate at the School of Biological Sciences at Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory in New York. Under the mentorship of Dr. Benjamin Colley, I hope I pronounced it well, and Dr. Arkaru Banerjee. So she's studying how the brain keeps track of time using singing mice as a model. So despite her rigorous academic pursuits, Yaman finds a peace in spoken word poetry and also likes to crochet in her spare time. Absolutely amazing, and welcome to the panel, Yaman.
Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Aditi Khatiwada, a recent graduate of chemical engineering from Kathmandu University. So, alongside her academic pursuit, she has been actively involved in organizing initiatives aimed at highlighting the importance of chemical engineering, particularly among high school students, to cultivate a future generation of chemical engineers. So, welcome to the panel, Aditi.
Thank you.
Last but not the least, we have Ms. Pragati Dahal, currently pursuing master's degree in applied economics at the University of Idaho. Pragati is involved in the research project focusing on developing the most economic strategies for potato virus management in the US, so as to enhance food security. She is passionate about economics, agriculture, and yoga. She is also a traveler and language enthusiast who is currently learning Spanish for just the joy of it. Welcome to the panel, Pragati.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for a lovely introduction. I'm so glad to be here with all the lovely ladies today.
Okay, so thank you so much to all our six speakers for joining in this conversation today. So your stories, experience, and pathways shall also be like for sure valuable to our audiences today. So our first segment primarily focuses on the involvement of women in STEM. We'll start with Miss Anushya. So, can you please share your journey into the STEM field, as in how it got started in the very first place? How did you decide that you are going to pursue STEM as your career?
Okay, I have a very funny yet a memorable story to share with you all actually. My journey to STEM started after I completed my 10 plus 2. I was given three options by my NAD. I was given options like nursing, computer science, or BBA. I didn't want to let go of the science stream because I'd worked really hard, studying day and night to complete my 10 plus 2. So the BBA was out of option. Then I had nursing and computer science. When back then there were so many nurses already in the country, so I didn't want to be a nurse. So the next option was computer science. So back then, CSIT was a very booming subject, so I thought of enrolling into the same field. I once had a conversation with Mr. Rabindra Lamsaltai, who is doing his research in computer science in Australia right now, who suggested that if I wanted to stand out from rest of the students, I should join the Microsoft Student Ambassador Program. Once I enrolled into the bachelor's course, I could strongly feel that my strength was towards public speaking and community stuffs. I got enrolled into CSIT Association of Nepal. After that, in my second try, I got into the Microsoft Student Ambassador Program. Then I started exploring topics like data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and started attending hackathons. There were webinars and meet and greet events, and this is how I got completely hooked up into the STEM field. And right now, if you ask, I'm doing my master's in computer science with a specialization on machine learning and information security. Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Actually, I think I met you during a hackathon itself, right? It was
Yes, it was in Pokhara, right?
yes, it was back almost 5 to 6 years ago. So you were quite an active member in the
Uh-huh.
CSIT community itself.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, so,
exactly.
Anushya, was there any specific moment that you remember that helped to ignite your passion in this particular industry? As you said, because you just had three options and you had to choose computer science in the initial stage, right? But then,
Yeah.
how did you manage to keep up with the passion within this computer science field?
Okay. In my case, I didn't choose my subject with passion in it, but the passion came in once I started exploring the concepts and visualizing the aftermaths. I used to just randomly go and attend events and network with people from whom I always had something to learn and explore. I had the privilege to complete a Microsoft data science course with a lot of MSPs back in Nepal. So I'm like, oh wow, I was in my first semester where I got this opportunity. So that is how I got to connect with Akestai, who was our project lead. I had seniors like Puzandai, Biswastai, Ojastai, Sirishadi, Dipti, and many more other enthusiastic minds that were the building block towards igniting my passion and my career in tech. That is how it all started. Yeah.
Definitely, that's quite interesting because whenever you meet people with a lot of enthusiasm and experience in the particular arena, you feel to like get the hang of that particular energy and also like
Exactly.
stay motivated in the pursuit of
Mhm.
that um, s- field. Okay,
Yeah.
so one more question before I move to another panel. So you're
Mhm.
currently in USA, and drawing from your experience, how different does the women in STEM, in terms of enthusiasm and empowerment, feel like in context of Nepal and overseas?
Well, to be honest, we had a pretty satisfactory involvement of women in STEM back in Nepal. But but if I were to compare it with what I have in the university right now, there's a huge difference. There are so many women in tech communities here that I might not even be aware of many of them. There's always something happening, and the bonding that they hold is just like next level. Um, to name few of the organizations that I'm aware of, there is Women's Center, Association of Women in Computing, Engineering, Science, Maths. These are all the basic, the standard ones that I am aware of. There are so many that I even don't know that they exist. Another plus point is that I just came to know that there is a Women in STEM scholarship program that is run by the Wright State University professionals. Like, wow, that's so great, right? So this is something that I would be glad to hear if such scholarship events would be available there in our country too.
Definitely, clubs and activities, and also, as you said, scholarships can be a great motivations for girls to pursue STEM in their career forward. All right, so now we'll be moving forward to Pragati. So, Pragati, you chose your career path to agriculture first, and then you later shifted to applied economics. So, could you please shed some light into how your journey into STEM started as well?
Yeah, so the journey into STEM started basically after the plus two after high school. So after high school, I had no idea what I should do for bachelor's because basically if someone would ask me what you're interested in, I didn't know anything. So from somewhere I got to know that agriculture was associated with a lot of traveling because we used to have a lot of projects, and even from the universities they took us to different field trips and everything. So it was the one tiny thing that attracted me to agriculture at first. So after I joined my undergrad, there are basically two parts in agriculture. First is mostly related to the biological parts, like how that is related to pathology, entomology, and genetics and breeding and everything. And the other part that is associated with it is economics behind it. So while I was in my third semester, I did a research with my professor, which was related to the socio-economic aspect of the agricultural commodity, which we later on published, and we went to a conference, and all those things happened. And during that process, I got to realize that I was more interested to the economic part of the agricultural world than the biological and the lab work related to it. So I started doing more research, and my thesis was also based on that. So after I completed my undergrad, I started applying for it. And in addition to economics, I was also interested in maths kind of thing. So in agriculture, there was very little of it. We only had one statistical course in our whole 4 years undergrad. So I also wanted to do something in statistics. That's why I shifted my career from agriculture to applied economics, as well as I'm doing a graduate certificate in masters. It's not said as minor, but they call it like graduate certification, and I'm doing that in statistics. So now I am working. My major project is related to food security, which is mostly inclined towards the agricultural project, which deals with the plant potato virus and its management strategies, how we can economically manage it. And in addition to that, I'm also working on a policy analysis, which is related to women's involvement in politics in US. So basically now at the moment, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm kind of happy. And there was one confusion when we were talking about the STEM and everything while I'm talking to the organizing committee, that if economics is related to STEM or not. So I also researched a little about it to make sure. So in US, during a few years back, economics was not related to STEM, but basically it's a very math heavy course. From the time I started my master's, throughout my first semester and now also in second semester, all the courses are related to calculus and statistics and everything. So many universities have shifted economics to STEM course. So economics is also a part of STEM now, guys. So the maths part is all we have the maths part in STEM. So I'm in a right place, I think.
Thank you so much for explaining it, Pravati. Basically, I was also about to ask you the same question for
Yeah.
the sake of our audience as well. So thank you for
Mhm.
stating it initially already. So
Okay.
I have another question which might seem very general, yet I feel that it's important that we talk about it as well. So, in a world where mathematics is considered too hard, and that too for women, so like we might have heard the terms like girl math getting very popular in Gen Z these days. So, like, what do you have to say about it? Do you have a say on this? Because you have come a long journey in terms of mathematics, and now that you have chosen applied economics as your mainstream course, so, what's your opinion on girl math and math being very hard for particularly women circulating around the internet?
Yeah, the question of mathematics and women, it has been like there since I was in school, because since school I used to like maths a lot, and my friends used to comment that women, girls are not good at math and all that kind of stuff. So I have been facing, like, it was not a big deal for me at that time, but now when I come here, what I can see is there's a very underrepresentation of women in economics and statistics, especially when I look at the professors that I study with. In my department, I have only three female professors in the Department of Economics, and even in the statistics, I have taken altogether 8 courses in my first and second semester, and I only had one female professor that was taking a course. So I think in US also the representation of women in mathematics is a little low, but I don't think that it's because women are bad in mathematics or so, but I think it's because it is already predefined that women are um, most of the women are studying this and most of the men are studying that. So I think that's the reason. And on top of that, I think mathematics in US is much more easier in comparison to what we had in Nepal, because the things that we are learning now, we used to learn that in high school. So for me personally, there has not been such kind of issues. No one has like made a point about me being a woman and me being bad in mathematics here in US. But when I was back in Nepal, I used to hear that kind of comments from my friends and everyone. So I think it's high time. And also about the girls' math, I think the memes that we see, they are funny, but sometimes it's associated with that math is not just the money or the number, but also about the time and everything that is included with it. So if it saves you time, then it saves you something. So I think girls' math also makes sense sometimes.
Definitely. Thank you so much for such thought-provoking answer, Pragati. Indeed. Comparing what we learn in terms of mathematics in Nepal and India, it seems like quite competitive um, than other parts of the world.
Yeah.
And definitely, numbers should not be gender biased or anything. So let's just see maths as maths and get done with
Yeah.
it. Okay, so now moving forward, I'd like to come to Priyanka. So first of all, Priyanka, can you please briefly like share your roles and responsibility as a DevOps engineer at your company? So what are the specific benefits that you bring to the organization?
Okay, so the one thing that I like about DevOps is it looks at the system as a whole. Instead of going to a certain part or instead of just focusing on one thing, they focus on how to optimize and how to make the whole system efficient. Okay, so we majorly work on cloud and infrastructure and automating things, automating day-to-day, regular, daily basis tasks that are halting or blocking the devs or any other customer of ours. So we majorly work on that part. And a part of that, we also work on our side-by-side minimal projects as well. That also includes using AI and all stuff, right? And if I say how DevOps is impacting each and everything, maximum of our daily life things are related to internet only, and applications, web apps and all. These are only efficient because people like us, DevOps and all, they are working on backend to provide the service more efficiently, um, and more proficient, like in very minimal amount of time by decreasing the latency and all, right? So this is all is done by DevOps. If one DevOps is down, then your server will be down as well. This is what I follow actually these days.
Okay, so I'd like to mention one thing that Pragati
Mhm,
said earlier. So, as she very carefully explained how we lack how we have very less female influence and mentors in this particular STEM field, right? So, like as a woman working in the field of DevOps, what has your experience been like? In terms of like getting proper mentorship and like looking women doing the things that you're doing currently and everything.
mhm. Okay, if you ask about that thing, I will again swap up to that statement that Pragati said, the mathematics. Okay, so I was always good at mathematics. That led me to join CSC. Before that, I had never touched the computer actually. Before my high school, before joining the graduation, I had never touched the computer. But when I joined over here, then I started exploring things. And I don't know whether it was my fortunate thing, it was my luck, or it is something like that. I was always good at getting people who are always there for aligning my pathway. Initially, as you know, from where I got to know you, MSP, right? Microsoft Student Partner. There were a lot of people, right? And one thing that I feel like these days, girls are more open, but when we started graduation, girls were like, no, we should not talk much. We should be introvert kind of person, right? But no, we should reach out to people that we are facing this problem. We need this kind of guidance, right? And only then you will be able to get any kind of details that you want for to move further in your life. I was I was kind of introvert, but I always tend to ask people like, what should I do? Why, where should I go? I That's how I joined Microsoft Student Partner as well. And later on, when I switched from UI UX design to cloud computing, that was the whole reason because I was exploring stuff. I was connecting with people. So major factor that one should follow is like you should always try to network and all, right? Instead of just getting in your own bubble. So, just one thing that I want to say to all girls, right? Just get out of your bubble, right? I hope you all agree with me on that.
Yes, networking definitely helps us a lot in our career.
Yeah, yeah. And like that's how I ended up as a DevOps engineer. And now, even when I'm a DevOps engineer, I have seniors who are females and who are more better than men as well. I'm not saying that men's are not better over here, but they are better. You have to like just look for people, and people are around there to help you. People are around there to guide you and support you as well.
Mhm.
So in my surroundings, I'm saying that I'm getting a lot of support. I am moving forward as well, whether it is my perspective or the things are like gradually increasing towards a better future.
Mhm. Okay. So now that we are talking about networking opportunities and
Mhm.
luck as well, so
Right.
what was the pivotal moment that acted as a privileged opportunity for helping you shape into the women that you are today in STEM?
Okay, so once there is this community, women who code, right?
Girls who code.
No, that was ours. That was ours. That was ours. Okay, there's this another community that is having more than 200,000 women, like women that are connected to that. I once joined a webinar over there, and through that, I got to know that yeah, just knowing a single part of the things that we are doing is not enough. We have to explore more. Only then I got into cloud, and again, fortunately, that was the time for us to select a minor in our college as well, right? So I opted for cloud computing. I was side by side learning about our operating system and all, and that's when I was like, I need to go into some stuff that is majorly working on operating systems and server-based things. Till then, I didn't know that DevOps is a thing, but my company gave some opportunities as off-campus placements, right? So I just went on, applied, and I again got lucky. No, but Women's Who Code was like the pivotal point in my life that I'll say changed my perspective towards how to see tech.
Mm,
Before that, I used to hate coding.
yes. So
Before that,
I actually like remembered someone texting me yesterday, and they were like, "Do you think there needs to happen a separate awareness for women in STEM?" So that was that particular question that he asked to me. So, and I feel like connecting back to what you just said, Priyanka,
Mhm,
about women who code instance, right? So I
mhm.
feel that conversations like this are actually quite helpful in terms of helping other girls and women look up to someone else as their role model and then follow their pathway in this particular journey. So irrespective of gender or anything, any kind of awareness should be happen, and conversation like this must happen always.
Yeah, obviously, these type of conversations are always helpful for people.
Mhm.
Because I have seen some people who are trying to reach out to people, other people, and they are not getting a certain path that this is how you will be getting resources and all, right?
Mhm.
These type of events will let them know, like, yes, these communities, these societies are existing for and are there to help you, are there to guide you in a better future or better pathway that you would like to have in future. Right. So obviously these are a good thing for each and every person, and specifically I'll say for women, there should be because they are not outgoing. They live in their own bubble. They want to attend webinars over here. I know there will be a lot of girls who are just like silently attending the webinar right now, seeing, I'll get something good from here. I'll try to search it down and then I will start working.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of learnings that comes from experience can be quite helpful in terms of resources for someone else, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because me myself got to know about women who code through an event only.
Mm.
So yeah, we should.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your opinion, Priyanka. In the same
Welcome.
context, I'd like to come to Aditi. So, in your view, what does the involvement ratio of women in STEM look like, particularly within the disciplines like chemical engineering?
Okay, so I think the gender bias, it's not a problem here. Unlike other engineering field like mechanical, where you just like get 1 or 2% of female in overall course, we have talking about the ratio in Kathmandu University in particular, we have 30 to 35% female in every year joining chemical engineering. So I think gender is not that great issue in
Mhm.
my field particularly.
That's actually nice to hear that. Because okay, so let's just move towards another question and then we'll have in-depth
Okay.
conversation. So considering the rate of interest in general, not just girls or boys, so in general, the lower rate of interest of people in disciplines like chemical engineering, like we had a discussion prior to this live, right,
Yes.
regarding how lower the rate of people joining chemical engineering is at the moment, not just in Kathmandu University, but in general in context of Nepal. So, how do you think we can foster an environment that can lead towards more interest of more upcoming individuals, particularly in this particular field of engineering, in domain of chemical engineering?
First of all, people are totally unaware about what chemical engineering is actually. Even I was unaware about it until I joined the university, because it was my initial plan to join computer engineering, get into it, but I was very uncertain as to if I get the seat or not. So I then switched my major to chemical engineering and decided to stick to it, and I'm quite enjoying it right now. But I think the lack of awareness about what chemical engineering is a very main thing that affects. And I want to leverage this platform to, share what chemical engineering actually is and how we are different from chemists. So first thing, chemical engineering is not chemistry, and chemical engineers are not chemists. So chemical engineering is, okay, in a very layman and simple term, chemical engineering is a discipline where the raw materials are converted into useful products notably at a very large scale. Now, if we distinguish between chemist and chemical engineering, for example, most of the science students know that the reaction between carbon dioxide and ammonia gives urea, which is used as a fertilizer. So this reaction is, developed by chemists. Okay, so carbon dioxide is in a gaseous state, and ammonia maybe or liquid or gas state, whatever it can be. How these two components react to give out urea that is actually a solid form. Not chemist could not do it. We need to understand the reaction mechanism, develop the process which helps to react, purify, solidify everything, and then bring out the urea at a commercial level. So this is what chemical engineers do, and we are not chemists working at a lab scale. We work to develop process. We work on an industry level. So the mainstream engineering, such as civil engineering, computer engineering, everybody knows about it, and I think the awareness should start from the high school itself. For example, if a student is very much inclined towards engineering, okay, I'll join engineering, so maybe I'll join the physical group in science stream on +2 level. So I get into it. Now, what is the role of +2 colleges? They teach the curriculum and they prepare you to crack pools or entrance examination overall. So, and they do not give career counseling. They do not give any idea about the existing and the current engineering streams. So, current engineering streams. Now, together with teaching the subject, the teachers should also feed the students the information that, okay, what are the career prospects in physics? What are the career prospects in chemistry? What are the career prospects in mathematics or the combined disciplines? There is chemical engineering, there is this aerospace engineering, there are many engineering. The high school teachers should give the students the opportunity, and most importantly, the collaboration between university and high school, I think, will play a major role. The high school students should visit universities, should get an opportunity to present their science projects at the university level, talk to the professors, talk to the department, know about the existing concerns, know about what is the ongoing concerns, or what is the engineering scope at present, what can be done. Information sharing plays an important role, and if you want to get into STEM, if you want to get into chemical engineering, you should actually talk to university, and the university also should take a major step to contact high school students, bring students to them, conduct many programs which will definitely raise awareness on chemical engineering as a whole, not just male and female, but overall.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for highlighting into this
Thank
very,
you.
very important aspect of
Yes.
the importance of career counseling in general. So
Yes.
I just wanted to ask you another question based on the same. So we talked about like how you've been involved in organizing various initiatives which are aimed at highlighting the importance of chemical engineering for high school students. So does your workshops or other activities that you're currently involved in relate in the same arena?
So while I was an undergrad student at the university, I have had very much access to access to organizing events and all. I had my friends, I had my juniors to help and collaborate. So when the realization of importance of chemical engineering was just starting to take shape in my head, COVID happened and all the academic sectors got disturbed. But through our departmental club Facebook page, we had, organized question answer session where various questions related to chemical engineering were highlighted, and various dignitaries from different fields were, brought and made to answer such questions. And the audiences from not just from KU but outside Kathmandu University were also made aware about this question answer session. Oh, it's happening. They used to come to the comment section, they used to ask more questions, they used to read. It was very fruitful. We also organized webinars and workshop where we brought students from Puljok colleges and other high school students, where basic knowledge of chemical engineering was also given. And after COVID was over, we organized a 3-day annual event on chemical engineering where talk show was conducted on industry and environment, where the interrelation of chemical engineering and environment is at present the most concerning case. And for me personally, talk show was very fruitful in deciding my career as a chemical engineer. So we thought talk show was a must. We organized talk show. We also organized All Nepal High School quiz competition, where the students were brought from different parts of Nepal to the university, and us being as a chemical engineer representative, we could introduce us as chemical engineers. So in this initiative also, the students could talk to the professors, look at the university, look at us, get a little bit of inspiration. And again, the third day was project demonstration, where high school students were again brought to our university, were given a chance to show their projects, so show their get more benefits, get scholarships from the university based on if they perform well in the science project, they are given scholarships. So these are the events that I was interested in. We also there was also marketing event that was happened, that the budget was set for marketing, basically the chemical engineering field. We traveled to various we traveled to various colleges in Tarai region to educate more people about chemical engineering. So these are the events that I took part in, and I think it has been more fruitful.
Definitely. It seems like whatever we talk about, everything revolves around influence and
Yes.
making people aware about it. And also, as you highlighted, marketing can be a great tool to enhance that. And in terms of marketing, I'll come back to you, Swetadi, in a while. So before that, Yaman, let me come to you for the discussion of dynamic changes and emerging trends in STEM. So first, let's start with your current involvement. You're a PhD candidate and you're currently studying how the brain keeps track of time using singing mice as a model. So can you please explain your project in more simpler terms for the ease of the audience and myself as well?
Of course. Yeah, so I'm doing a PhD in biological sciences, but I'm working with an experimental neuroscientist and a computational neuroscientist. So my project involves both doing experiments and using mathematics, machine learning, and computer science to understand the behavior. Okay, let me start with what singing mice are. So singing mice are these a species of mice. They're in Costa Rica, and they're able to vocalize in a human audible range. So we all know what a mouse is. We've seen a mouse at various places. So this singing mice is very closely related to a regular mouse, but it can vocalize, and not only can it vocalize, it communicates using that vocalization, almost just like us humans do. So you asked me a question, Ashwarya, and after 0.5 seconds I replied, and the singing mice also reply to each other at that sub-second resolution. And another cool thing that our lab has observed is that they sing when in an isolated condition, when they're alone, they sing very regularly, like almost 9 minutes or 10 minutes. Like there are periods of insanely regular songs, right? So if I tell you guys to tell me when 1 minute passed, we will be able to do it, but maybe we'll be off by a few minutes, right? But somehow these mice are able to keep track of 9 minutes or 10 minutes, which is insane because we're not able to do it with such accuracy even for a shorter time, right? So, and another thing I want to mention is that we're a bag of cells, right? Like we are chemicals, and our body, our organs, all of our organs are made up of cells. And the brain itself that gives rise to behavior is also just a bunch of cells, right? So, what is the physical substrate that is leading to, like, that's allowing these mice to keep track of 9 minutes, right? So because singing mice have this innate behavior of singing, we don't have to train them, we don't have to teach them how to push a lever or anything like that that we have to do with other mice. So because they have this really cool behavior, we're able to study how it's keeping track of time. And what we can do is we can record neurons as they are singing between the gaps of the songs. And that's how we can study what's happening in the brain, how are cells communicating, what chemical reactions are occurring that allow them to keep track of time. And another aspect of my project is using mathematical models to describe this behavior, this clock-like behavior. And another really cool aspect is I told you that they can interact, right? So, okay, they have a certain clock rate when they're alone. Let's say I sing every 6 minutes and Aditi, you sing every 10 minutes. So, and I told you that when they're together, they can communicate, right? So since I sing 6 minutes, you sing every 10 minutes, when we are in a social situation, are you going to follow me? Am I going to follow you? Are both of our rates going to change? How does social cue change our internal timing? So I'm studying things like that.
That's quite impressive, Yaman, and that's quite intellectual as well. So, before asking you any more question, I would just like to understand, like, what led towards your interest in this particular area, and how did you happen uh, to work under neuroscience and everything? So, what was your pathway like?
Yeah. So like everyone else, I was also given an option to be a doctor. It wasn't really an option. It was kind of mandatory. But I was in high school and I really liked science, but I think I was very squeamish. I couldn't see blood. I couldn't see people suffering. I didn't have anything against learning about the human body, but I loved science. And so what I did is I came to the States and I started as a biology major, and then I fell in love with chemistry. So I became a chemistry major. And throughout college, I read a lot of books and about the brain, and I realized, wait, like the brain is allowing us to be who we are, right? But it's just a bunch of chemicals, right? Like it's cells, it's chemicals, it's like a bunch of atoms that are somehow coming together to give us the ability to communicate and be aware of our surrounding, and so on. So I thought it was really cool that we are able to just do all these crazy things that are like right now. I'm communicating my ideas using like vocalization. You're able to understand it, right? Like it's crazy. So what is the physical aspect of that, right? And that got me really curious. And I was also doing research in college. And then in my third year, I got the opportunity to do research at MIT. So in the summer, I work with Dr. Shao Wang, who's in the chemistry department, but she looks at the brain, and so she's creating like a molecular map of the brain. And I worked with her, and it was a great opportunity, and I really enjoyed it. But I wanted to know more about how exactly the brain is working. So then I applied for a PhD, and I got in, and I found these two amazing mentors. And so, yeah, I just really want to know, like, what is allowing us to be who we are.
Okay, and what was your experience like when you were interning in MIT?
it was really cool. I see. I come from Nepal, and we don't have resources like that. So it was really amazing. Um, I was overwhelmed in the beginning because I did not come in with a very strong background, but I learned a lot, and it was a great environment. So yeah, I think if you have a learning mindset and you're not afraid to be wrong, and you're not afraid to be judged if you ask questions, I think that really allows you to make the most out of the opportunities you have.
Thank you, Yaman, for breaking down whatever you're doing at the moment in so much simpler terms at the moment. So now, having worked with national and international talents under STEM, what insights have you gained about the evolving landscape of women in STEM collaborations?
Um, I think in terms of diversity and equity, I feel like we can do better, and I feel like there are a lot of like everyone's already mentioned, like really good initiatives that we have taken as trainees, and like people also in administrative positions that they've taken, and I think that allows like women's involvement in STEM to evolve. Um, yeah. What was the second part of the question? Sorry.
No, I was asking you about like how does this particular evolving landscape look like in terms of women in STEM collaboration?
Yeah, in terms of collaborations, I
Yeah.
think. Okay. Yeah.
Particularly, you can also talk about the women's involvement in scientific research and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have two things I think I can start with. I think recently there have been a lot of initiatives, like I said, and compared to the past, I feel like it's getting better. Um, there are a lot of women scientists now, and they're getting recognized like internationally, and yeah, recently a woman won a Nobel in medicine, physiology and medicine. So it is evolving, but there's still a lot of room for growth. Um, Maybe I'll mention this, maybe it will help. So I'll give an example of an affinity group that we have on campus. It's called, well, we have two actually. The first one is diversity and inclusion, diversity initiative for advancement in STEM, where we try to create a safe and inclusive environment for people from all different backgrounds, all different gender or racial, national backgrounds. And we also on campus have a WISE group. It's called Women in Science and Engineering. And I feel like initiatives like this at a trainee level allow us to encourage and reach out to uh, high school students, or like women that are not introduced to science, or like Pragati mentioned, that like how our social construct somehow informs us that maybe as a woman you're not good enough for science or stuff like that. I feel like these initiatives are helping us advance.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Yaman. Your answers were quite insightful, and we definitely learned a lot about singing mics as well and
Yeah.
research in general. Now coming to you, Swaidati. As a marketing and communication professional with immense experience in this particular field, how do you see the role of effective communication in promoting diversity and inclusion within the STEM itself?
Well, I would like to start with how when Aishwarya invited me, I was quite skeptical if I was within the STEM field. Then I did a bit of research. I asked Aishwarya if that is really connected to each other. And analyzing my experience from the past 8 years, I did realize that STEM and marketing was somehow correlated. So I'd like to thank you, Aishwarya, for making that clear to me, which was not. And in terms of communication, can you repeat the second part of the question?
Okay, so I was asking about you that how effective communication can actually help in promoting diversity uh, and inclusivity in terms of STEM field, and in terms of professional uh, arena itself?
I think it plays a pivotal role. Communication does play a pivotal role in spreading the gender biasness that we face in our community. And coming from a marketing field, I would say this is quite a male domain field as well. But while progressing into my career, while working in this field for many years, I did realize that there is an opportunity for communication and putting yourself in that position where you can actually move forward in these fields as well with the experience that you hold. And yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, definitely. Communication helps a lot.
A
As
lot.
Priyanka said earlier, that rather than just being inside your own bubble, you need to learn to ask for mentorship. You need to learn to seek guidance from someone else. So I think communication comes in this particular thing as well, right? Okay, so you have worked in different national as well as international projects for brands such as Nissan and Datsun. So, of course, the automobile industry, as you said earlier, is quite male dominant, is quite like well known to be male dominant field, right? So, what was your experience like working in this field for almost 7.5 years? So, what do you have to say on this?
Well, I'd like to start with something. You'll not believe this, but when I actually started my job, I had two wonderful lady mentors who actually helped my career, who helped me shape my career. I was very new to marketing. I was a fresh graduate from university. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, but those two women, they actually helped me shape my career and to figure out what I actually wanted to do in life. And I would say yes, it is still min domain. And I would say most of the management positions are led by male, but I think we do have opportunities for women as well in that particular position. And yeah, that's it really.
Would you also like to call out their names, your mentors'
Oh
names?
yeah, yeah, that is Zarina ma'am and Kritika Di. They were actually working as market. I think there were actually very few ladies working in automotive marketing as well at that time. It was back. It was, I think, 8 years back. So I would say it was very new, and I think I did get a lot of things out from them, and that actually helped me shape my career and move forward. And yes, and yeah.
Actually, I also met you through my professional career pathway, right? So you
Yes.
have also been so inspiring, and you have definitely like taught me so much in terms of communication and people management in general. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Aishwarya.
Shout out to my mentor as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Indeed, as you said, experience differs from person to person. You might had two lady mentors from the start itself, but it may not be the situation to someone else. So I've also seen so many wonderful and talented women getting overwhelmed by the situation. You know, the sense of inferiority complex, like it seems to hit us psychologically as well sometimes. So, have you ever experienced a situation while working under a certain group of people, or maybe for a specific project internationally?
Well, I think that's very natural to have inferiority complex, especially for us ladies. I think that comes with us. So I do have many situations where I did face inferiority complex, but I would never let that get me because I think I should not bother about things that does not even make any sense to me at the end of the day. So it did hit me at certain times, but I would never let that come between work and myself. I would draw a line itself to so that I don't have to cross that, and I don't need to see that as well. I just need to close my eyes if I feel that and just move on with my work. Very straightforward.
Yeah, definitely. We need to always like realize our worth and then understand what we bring to the table as well.
True.
Okay, so thank you so much for your answers, Swetadi.
Thank
Now
you.
it's time that we move forward with our next segment, where we shall retrospect back into our panel's journey and what impacted the most in their journey in STEM. So this is basically an activity where we dig deeper into internet and found some of your interesting photos from the past. So we want you to see the photo, go back to the time it was taken, and then share your insights on the same. Are you up for it? Okay. So admin, could you please help me share the photos? Okay. Can you please click on one of the photos and then start with it? Okay. So the for the this is the first
Why did you have to do that?
of Swetadi. We were actually looking into all your social media handles and everything. So it just felt like that it was the start of your journey, professional journey, I guess. So can you please can
You'll not believe this, but I think this was one of the first month of me starting this new job where I was fresh in my 20s. I would say this is the very early photo of my career. I might look the same, but yeah, this was actually the very first photo in the first month of me starting Datsun as a junior marketing officer back in the days.
so this is where all your journey and
Yeah,
knowledge.
this was where it all started, and yeah, rest is history, I would say.
All right, thank you so much, Swetadi. Now let's move forward to another photo, please. Okay, Yaman, we have a photo. We actually found this photo, I think, in one of the web pages of your university.
Yeah.
So can you please share some
So
insights into it?
yeah, our college used to write articles or like newsletter in the newsletter about students in different majors, and I think it was just taken for that. This was in my third year, so like 3 years ago. Yeah, it's just I was a I switched to chemistry from bio. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's it's just a book that I was reading. So
That actually shows your love towards books and knowledge, indeed.
I really like books. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Yaman. Now, can you please move forward with another photo? Okay,
Yes.
so Pragati, we have your photo here.
Yeah, this is like maybe in 2018 when I was in third semester. So it was a conference that was held in Chitwan. It was a Asian Regional Conference. So I was talking about the research project that I worked in, which was related to economic aspect of agriculture. So this was the first project that I worked in, and we got selected to present our poster in the international conference. So it was kind of big deal for a third semester, Pragati. So when I look back at it, it brings good memory. Thank you for bringing it up.
Thank you so much, Pragati, for sharing your experiences. Like when we were looking at these pictures, I could also like see the title saying Asian something on goat, I think. I
Yeah,
actually saw goat as well there. Like, do you have a say
yeah.
on it? Anything would you like to share about it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was like a conference which is related to the goat farming because agriculture and animal husbandry go hand in hand. So I was not so much like into what it was about, whether it was about the agriculture or the animal husbandry. I was more interested towards the economic part of it at that time. So we looked at the socio-economic aspect of goat raising farmers in a hilly district of Nepal, that is Sinduli. So it was mostly associated with my love for economics and statistics at that time. But during that time, it was a really simple and kind of the project that a third semester student can do. But it was a good experience, a starting point for my journey as an economist, I would say, because from that, I met ma'am. I call her ma'am. She was kind of mentor to me. Oh, she's named as Smriti Kalapanta. I met her there in conference, and through her, I went to different projects and different field trips. And working with her made me realize more about how I was interested in economics, and she was also more involved in the gender-related projects also. That's why it has been kind of a turning point for me. So you guys picked out a very good picture.
Thank you so much, Pragati, for the description. Okay, so Admin, can we please move forward to next picture? So Aditi.
Okay, so this was the day of my convocation where I received my degree on chemical engineering. And this was a very random photo. Actually, we were just sitting, and one of my friends had recently bought iPhone 14. So we were just checking out the portrait camera. So this is the photo, and I was quite very happy because all those 4 years of hard work really paid this day when you wear the cap and hold the degree. And I was happy. You look at my expression.
Okay, so thank you so much, Aditi. And also, like, would you like to share maybe a certain speech that you could not share?
Oh my god.
Maybe.
I'm not prepared for this moment, but yeah, the journey was very unexpected, switching from one major to another and holding a degree in chemical engineering where you finally have grown interest and determined to pursue your further graduate study also in this field. It's just so good and overwhelming for future as well. And I think in front of my parents, in front of my professors, getting this degree, it really meant a lot. Thank you.
Congratulations on the graduation, Aditi.
Thank you so much.
Okay, can you please move towards next picture? Okay, Priyanka.
Dude, this picture, I lost it actually.
Oh my God, I just could not find any picture like where you're just the one there. I had to choose this group picture.
Okay, no worries. This is actually the photo from 2021, I think, when we were selected for Microsoft Student Partner. And this is the whole group of ours. These all people are MSPs from our college, Microsoft Student Partners, and the girl in center in gray blazer. She was a program manager at Microsoft. Her name is Aparna Mittal, and this photo was exactly after we had a discussion with Pablo Vermendi. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his name correct or not. He is, I think, director of
Yeah,
audience vigilance. I think I
yes,
don't remember exactly. Yeah,
yes,
we
yes.
had a lot of discussion regarding how to schedule further events, how to schedule, how to organize hackathons and all. And after that, we got this particular picture. I don't know where he went from there, but he was also in one of the pictures over there. This was all like little story about this one. This was a great day actually. This was a great day.
Thank you, Priyanka. So it seems like every one of us were quite active back in days as well. And all of us were quite engaging in various community activities as well. Now, moving towards next photo, please. Okay. Maybe it seems like it needs a little help. Can you please give me a moment? Okay.
Oh my goodness. Where did this come from? Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Aishwarya, you made me speechless. Oh my God.
How many years back was this photo taken?
That's probably in my first or second year of bachelor's, and one of the first events that I participated in as a participant.
Okay.
Okay, I have an amazing story to tell. Oh wow, you brought back so many memories. Okay, the three of us, we were in one team. We had 3 days to prepare for an idea pitching competition. This was organized by Siri Sadi. I forgot the name of her organization, so sorry. It was an ideathon, and it was the three of us. It took us 2 days to prepare our presentation slide, right? And the final day, we had to present. The idea behind this project was mine. So there was Melissa D giving out a speech and saying that treat your idea like a baby, this, that. And all those words were going into my head. So we went for the presentation. The thing that was in my mind was treat my idea like a baby. Our idea was to create a business model where we would get normal people and people, the pregnant ones, to have people to help them. So idea was something related to that, and I had a lot of thought process done in the previous week, right? And these two guys, they went and like both of them somehow stopped somewhere. So I was like, screw them. This is my idea, my baby. I need to present it. And I started it from the very first and ended it. And the good part is I was second in this event. Not just I, the whole our team was second. So it was one of the most memorable ones. And we had Dipendra sir from Microsoft. What he had one question to me. He was like, "You're from an IT field, right? Then how come you're looking into business?" And my answer back then was, who said that a business mind couldn't have a technical background? Like that was, everyone was hooting around. So yeah, such a memorable time. This reminds me of Swapnil Dai and Melisha Di.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, hackathons are quite interesting times, like where we can learn so much and we can like share our thoughts and also expand our horizon of perspectives, not just in terms of IT projects, but in terms of business related aspects as well. So like we get to pitch about an idea, we get to think about it, we get to differentiate it into different market target segments and everything, right? Okay, so nice one. Thank you, admin. Okay, so moving forward, now we have come towards the third segment. I understand everyone seems a little bit tired already, so please feel free to drink water if you have some beside you. Okay, so in this particular third section, like we'll talk more about the influence and mentorship in general. So I think we have covered almost a lot of it earlier as well. So okay, Anushya, first of all, I'll start with you. Okay, so from your perspective, what may be some of the most effective strategies that we can used to encourage young girls and women to pursue STEM educations and careers?
I think it all depends upon the interest that one has. But then again, if people don't make a child think that boys do maths and science while the girls do arts and literature, I believe there could be a difference. But that's just, I'm adding up to what Pragati said. um, I don't think there is a specific strategy to encourage girls and women, but I think this is something that comes from within. But like you and Priyanka said, awareness and conversations like this can always help. and flourishing and helping everyone out. As Pragati said, the STEM program has a variety of subjects under it, and you can choose any that you like. But when you choose, make sure you choose something that you are actually interested in. If not, try to explore the subjects and try to specify on the certain part that actually makes you happy. One of my friend from Right State, Majid, he told me a few line. He told me a line like few days ago, um, and I think it's valuable if I share it here with more people. He said. There are a lot of shy people around you, but you try to make sure that you don't become one. Like, just think to these words. I'll repeat: there are a lot of shy people around you. Just make sure that you don't become one. Like, it just struck me like, wow, this is something, right? So yeah, that as long as you don't stand for yourself, your voices might never be heard. You never know. So one thing that I believe people can take back from this webinar is be you, do what you love, and not to be one of the shy ones in the crowd. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anushya. So Yaman, you as a woman in a position of influence at the moment, so what responsibilities do you feel towards paving the way for next generation of women in STEM? Of course, like you have so many people looking up to you as a source of inspiration. So, like, have you approached mentoring the younger professionals? Um,
Yeah, so our school has a lot of mentoring opportunities, so I mostly volunteer for that. I host and help my previous university host like personal statement writing workshops where I teach students how to write essays for applying to grad school or internships and stuff like that. Um, I also love teaching, so anytime I get to teach, even if it's like someone doesn't understand something, I'll sit down and teach it because I just love teaching. I'm also a part of I was one of the co-chairs of mental health for women in science and engineering last year. So in that role, I organized a lot of events that promoted good mental awareness and events that allowed people to relax and stuff like that. And currently, I'm in the diversity initiative for advancement of STEM in my campus. And through that, I reach out. Along with my peers, we organize events and we go to different community schools or high schools to teach the younger generation what science is. And people usually have an image of a scientist, right? Like a certain image of a scientist. They don't think like people from color or like women, people identifying with different like gender backgrounds, right? We don't see a lot of representation in that way. And we go there and we teach them science, and we also tell them, hey, this is what scientists actually look like. You don't have to wear a lab coat and have crazy hair, right? Yeah, I hope that maybe I can collaborate with people in Nepal to also host workshops and inform people about career and help them apply for things. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yaman. It seems like you've been doing so much to help the younger generations. It seems like you're trying to be the one you never found in your early days. So thank you so much again. And now I'd like to come to Pragati. So, given your expertise in advocating for policy changes as well, so we talked about it earlier, and what are the some actionable steps that women in STEM can take to promote gender equality in STEM field itself? I see Pragati. Okay. I
I'm so
think
sorry.
I think you
Yeah,
lost.
it got disconnected. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll just repeat the question. All right. So, given your expertise in policy, in advocating for policy changes, so what do you think that might be some actionable changes that women can use to influence more diverse background in STEM field itself?
Yeah, I think the policy changes that we have been adopting in different countries is for the women and the other underprivileged groups is mostly related to the quota systems that allocate certain number of seats for the people who are underrepresented in certain faculty or certain sectors. So it has been one of the more general but effective policy that has been working worldwide. In addition to that, uh, the major thing that the younger women, younger girls lack is proper mentorship, I think, because they do not know who to look up to because there are so many things that's going on these days, which is like overwhelming for them because a lot of information are lying around in social media and everywhere. So people are not, especially girls, they are not aware of what they want to do or they are not getting the correct mentorship where they have to work towards. So I think there should be a kind of policy which will focus more on creating some kind of awareness or creating some kind of mentorship opportunities for girls of young age, the teenagers, which can help them to understand what actually they are getting into. And especially in Nepal, the thing that lack is the proper career counseling and guidance to the not just women but to all the students after their high school because they do not know what they want to do. They do not know what they are getting into when they are choosing a certain field. Talking about myself, I got into agriculture and then I discovered that I don't want to work on it. So those 4 years of my life kind of I'm not getting it back, and I studied something that I don't want to use later in my life. So I think that thing should be made mandatory, especially in Nepal, that what you are getting into or what subject you are getting into, you should know the background of it, not just what you are going to study, but what you are going to work after you graduate, or what kind of work that you will have to be doing, because that's the ultimate thing that you will be doing after those 4 years of your study. So I think that should be a change that an education system we can say that we should bring in Nepal so that people can students can understand what they are getting into. Yeah, there are so many other things that we can talk about, but I think that's one of the most important thing that is needed to be taken care of for now.
Thank you, Pragati, for highlighting the importance of mentorship and influence in terms, not just in terms of STEM, but in general itself. So now that we are talking about the importance of mentorship and career counseling in general, so I would also like to highlight an initiative that HawkAi is currently into. So we have a CSR campaign going on, which is called AI for Education. So this initiative basically aims to bridge the gap between the pool of opportunities and the student aspirations itself. So what are the opportunities that students currently in grade 8, 9 and 10 can utilize so that they can validate if they belong to the tech stream or not in days to come. So these are the things that we are currently trying to promote and educate students of grade 8, 9 and 10. So that's one of our CSR initiative from HawkEye itself. So since we were talking about it, I just felt the need to add it because maybe a lot of listeners can utilize this opportunity. You can also contact us and then we can collaborate to educate more number of students in other schools as well. So we are open for any sort of collaborations. Okay, so Aditi, looking ahead, so what do you envision as the long-term impact of increasing women's influence uh, in engineering and more leadership position as well?
Um, I would say that women I would not say that women are better than men. I mean, they are equal.
Yes.
Given the opportunity, given the capabilities, they are equal. And I think, okay, in a world where women constitute of half of the population, I think it's important that we need to keep ahead the ideas from women as well. Engineering is the application of science. In solving current issue, and if we look at it, the woman can bring different perspective, different ideas, different creativity onto the table. And also I feel woman has certain high level of emotional intellect than men, which can be very fruitful to uh, which can be very fruitful to work outside engineering but within the same background, like for whether it can be teamwork or collaboration or handling stuffs like that. Woman plays a very important role, and I think women can break gender barriers if they are if they are more involved in it. Other female who are willing to join tech stream, who are willing to join this STEM, can look up to them as role models and feel that okay, I'm also capable of doing that. Because I want to share one instance. One of my friends from school level, she had that passion to join civil engineering in her bachelor's, but her mother stopped because it involved a lot of field work, and she said that why do you want to join something where you just need to go to construction site, or work as a labor, where you can just choose management stream, a very easy subject, and then get into banking and enjoy the AC room, and now she is a banker. So family will also play a very important role in shaping, manipulating. And I think the stereotypical trends of male domination into this field is a very important part, where a woman cannot fully explore this field. For example, if we imagine civil engineer working in a construction site, we imagine a man. If we imagine like mechanical engineer, designing cars, planes, handling equipments, we imagine men. Everywhere we imagine men. So this male domination thing needs to be stopped. Women should realize that okay, I'm also capable of doing field work, I'm also capable of going outside and exploring everything. Not I'm not only bound to stay in a room and work in front of like computers or lab or whatever. I can also go to field. Me being from engineering background, I would more be inclined to say the field work actually. So yes, women should feel competent that okay, I am capable of doing this, I'm no less than man. This realization actually will the mental state of female, and the realization that she is self-competent, will definitely help women into getting into STEM, and encouraging future female students as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Aditi. So now we are almost at the end of our session. So we have one question, and we'll take it from the audience itself. So I'd like to ask this question to Priyanka. So what emerging Vivek, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So Vivek asks, what emerging technologies are you most excited about, and how might they impact women in tech?
Okay. So currently, as I'm working as a DevOps engineer, right, I am more inclined towards learning, integrating machine learning and AI along with DevOps tools. Although each and maximum of the tools, like even GitHub is introducing Copilot, Azure, AWS, and each and every software, all the companies are going into AI sector, right? So I am more inclined towards
Hello, Priyanka.
um, am I audible?
Yes, it seems like you froze for a minute.
Yeah, I lost the
No,
network actually.
no worries. You may continue.
Uh, Okay, so yeah, I was saying because maximum of things, it is said that next upcoming decade will be totally dedicated to AI, and post that maximum of the things will be handled by AI and machine learning things. So, according to me, shifting my whole pivot towards machine learning and AI, whether you are working in any of the fields, management, any of the engineering, even in chemical engineering, there are some softwares that are being used and integrated with AIs, right? If we talk about marketing, all the CRM platforms are being integrated with AI, right? So whatever you are doing, just try to focus that how you can utilize AI and machine learning tools along with the task that you are currently doing. I hope I answer your question
Yeah.
today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Priyanka. Indeed, we have a lot of technologies in hand at the moment, and we can definitely utilize it. Also, AI and ML are quite talk of the nation and worldwide these days. So why not research about it and implement it in our day-to-day activities, not just in STEM field, but in different occupations itself. So now that we are almost ahead of the time, we won't be able to entertain any more question. I think we have almost talked about any queries that our audience might have, from the importance of having community to career counseling, and also scholarship related to women in tech, and also how mental health is very important and how we can contribute towards it in general. So now that we have come to the end of the session, thank you to all our panel speakers. It was really inspiring to witness such a diverse and passionate group of individuals come together to explore women in STEM and have aligned various perspectives. So, although we had different time zones and everyone had their busy schedules, thank you so much for making time for this particular conversation. Everyone kept up with the dedication and joined in the conversation. So, it was quite insightful, thought provoking, and meaningful as well. So, loved hearing your stories and experiences so far. So, on behalf of HawkAi, I would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our audiences for attending and engaging in our conversation today. I'm sure it was quite insightful for you as well. So, we are more committed to organizing more engaging and informative events like this in future as well. So, looking forward to welcome you back to our upcoming discussions and activities. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for your time and your valuable input. Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Aishwarya.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
Thank you,
thank you for having
Aishwarya.
us.
Thank you. Okay, bye bye. We'll be ending
Bye.
it
See you again.
today. Happy Women in Science Day.
Happy Women's Insight Day.
Yeah.